We're here with head women's basketball coach Krista Kilburn Steveskey. Coach, opening statement on tonight's win.
First time coming up here to Olean and playing the Bonnies here, and I think Jesse does such an incredible job. He's got a great group that are going to compete this year, and so I have to give them a lot of credit. But it was amazing for us to get ourselves back and to the right frame of mind and come out of this place with the win. This is not an easy place to play.
Now, how important was it? It wasn't the boogie show as we usually see, but to get that team effort towards the end. Sandra Carson came in big in the fourth quarter. What did you see from her performance today?
Yeah, I mean, the first statement you said about just a total team win, and that's what they were saying at every timeout. I mean, there was times that Sika was just imploring everybody, share the basketball when they collapse down, find the open player and just do, try to do a good job of working together. And that's, that it's nice to have Lex back in the lineup, and I think she helps our tempo. But Carson made some stops down the stretch. I keep telling her it's time for her to start to separate. It's time for her to really help us. She wants to be a good defensive player. She had some big shots when we needed her. So, I'm glad that she brought that up because I'm pretty hard on her at times, just expecting a lot out of her because I think she's a lot better, than she's even showing right now. But just a total team effort. Nice to have Anna getting her confidence back, and she's a leader on the court. She's the one that's pointing and telling people where their shooters are, and that's what we didn't have, in the last few games. And again, having Lex back in the lineup is great.
The defense looked completely different than it did against Stony Brook. Coach Kahn saying everything went right in the presses. What did you see this time around?
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty dejected from that performance, and I think everybody, I think my whole Vince Lombardi statement was, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up. And I wanted to see how they're going to get back up because, we've got to find the right rotations. I mean, there was, this lineup tonight is a great lineup. We have a lot of other help on the bench, and we're getting ready to go to a 3-day road stint that we're going to need everybody. But, it's just nice for them to feel a little bit more comfortable out there and trust each other. And I think getting some roles defined a little bit better helped them. And then that gave them confidence in their defense. They know that Anna and Marianne know the game extremely well. Sika knows the game. Then you got Boogie and Lex, so it just gives their ability to switch and rotate and talk and communicate, and that made it a lot better.
So Lyanne kind of alluded to it. Sika Kuzik, 20 points in the first half alone. What did you see from her?
Well, again, I was pretty hard on her after Tuesday's game, and but she responds. She can contribute in so many ways, and tonight it was on the offensive end. So just reminding her never to disappear because her value on the court goes beyond even just scoring points, and so does Boogie. I think both of those two playing off of each other because they, Boogie gets targeted every game, but you got to also deal with Sika and Lex and everybody else too now. Get everybody back and healthy, but. She just responded today and just really wanted to compete and pulled her teammates together, and I thought I was really proud of her. Really proud.
The third quarter, you kind of let them back in a little bit. I know you guys started a little bit. What were they doing in the third quarter to kind of stop you?
Yeah, I mean, again, you got a little basketball adversity that we need to work on, and it's our third quarter. And we had, so not only you had a bunch of things changing momentum. We had a lot of calls on both ends, right? There was like 3 or 4 walks, and then there were these mysterious fouls on both parties, right? So that changes momentum. Then we were 0 for 8 from the arc. I don't know where that came from. You forgot what you just did in the first 2 quarters to do into the third quarter, even after I called a timeout, and then Sika took a 3. So it's just basketball adversity, and I didn't want to blow a bunch of timeouts right there to try to get them back. But, it's me learning this team too. I was trying to hurry them get to the media as I'm screaming and tell them to get to the cup and share the basketball and quit settling for threes. So, we just – and then they threw a little 2-1-2 a couple times at the end because we didn't score at the end of the second quarter. We didn't score at the end of the third quarter either, right? So, so it's a combination of them switching, momentum shifting from calls, all these uncontrollables at times. But the controllable was our shot selection. That was a controllable. Our shot selection was a controllable, and I think we let them back in with some poor decision making.
Johnson and Francis for Bonaventure, 2 freshmen. They were kind of, being a pass. What did you see out of them?
Well, when I first, I have really good assistant coaches. Messiah Riams had this scout. Coach Collins had the other ones. We share a lot of scouting, but we all log in so many hours of film. But when I came from our last game and then watched a second of his clips, all I had was Johnson too flying off that screen. I thought it was on fast forward. So here you go. After that, you're trying to pick yourself back up and looking. I mean, they're just talented. They're going to really be pretty huge impact for Jesse here. And as soon as they continue to learn, what freshmen have to learn from making some mistakes. But so they're dynamic, and then you still have your shooters and Paulson and I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I apologize. Of course, I don't have my glasses on right now. But he's got his kids that he's counted on. Calabrese, or say her name? Calabrese, yeah. So I thought Marion did a good job trying to contain her. But those kids, they were splashing off the page, and we had to kind of focus a lot of our game plan around containing their penetration, and that's what we tried to do and edge up a little bit on them.
Now, how does this game propel you to the Nashville travel that's coming up just next weekend?
Yeah, well, it's nice to have a confidence booster, but we have a lot of ways to go, right? So, we were pretty realistic after Iona, and we had a couple smacks in our face with Columbia, and even though you tell the kids, how long our process is going to be in this path and what people are going to do to try to take away what we want to do, and we just have to worry about ourselves. And I think that's what we actually did over this last week, was quit focusing on worrying about everybody else and just really focus on what we can do on the floor, and they kind of bought into that piece. So now we got to do the same, because Wright State, Marist, Stetson, not an easy combo, but it's nice to be on a neutral court and have hopefully some warm weather in Nashville. I'm not quite sure about that, but so just big games. And Coach Kahn talked to the team tonight after this win about getting back and staying focused at practice, getting everything in order to leave next week, and then 3 games you have to win in March. That's why you play tournaments like this, right? So, and obviously we're going to need more than 7 people to play 3 games next week. So we got to get everybody involved next week to get through and come out of there victorious.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you
you,
guys. Appreciate it.